because
Yeah.
I basically pushed on the weekend. College football was not too delightful for me. I did not mention that I had the Aggies -3 because I thought they would get it done at home, but that Ole Miss defense is for real.
Hey,
And maybe
I don't
Kenny
want to
Hill
change.
is not
Well, shut up. Maybe he's not what? Trill?
not for real. Maybe he's not Trill.
Trill.
Maybe we bestowed that nickname on him too quickly because he can't really take back a nickname. So now he's just sodomizing the name Trill.
That's awful. He's
How dare you.
sodomizing it. Okay.
Oh, also, sorry, the Arizona -3.5 leading 23-20. Washington had the ball. Cousins picked 6 right at the end. Pretty much the same deal. But sorry, proceed.
Okay, this is totally off the subject,
Mm.
but I was just reminded of a few pictures that were on Twitter from the Texans game Thursday night. Whenever Andre Johnson scored his touchdown in the first half,
Mm-hmm.
he jumped in the stands, like the Lambeau Leap thing, but everybody does it now.
Yep.
And this one girl, molested him. She had her hand on his butt, and then he kind of rolled over, and her hand is on his junk.
Mm.
And he says he didn't even notice it. But there are very explicit pictures on the interwebs of Andre Johnson getting felt up by a fan in the
With
stands.
that big fat ass.
He does have a nice ass, though. I won't lie.
All right, so to tangent off, what's your take on football players and their butts? Who would be your top 3 butts in the NFL?
I really don't, honestly, I feel like I had a better idea. I really thought this through last season, but I haven't paid as much attention this year. Obviously, my favorite NFL butt is going to be Arian Foster, but I'm trying to think of some other ones. Who has a nice one is Eric Decker.
Well, obviously, because he's a Minnesota boy.
Well, he's also kind of douchey, but he
Like
has
a Minnesota
nice
boy.
ass. There you go. I'm trying to think who else. Gosh, golly, gee. That's a hard question. I need to prep for these questions.
All right, how about you think about it, and then I will go off and rant on Mike Goldberg, who is a Fox play-by-play guy, allegedly.
Yep.
And he went after fans on Twitter after the game. Mike Goldberg is typically a UFC guy, but he ended up doing the Vikings-Lions game with Brendan Iambadejo for some reason. And also for some reason, I kept the audio on, the TV audio.
Mm-hmm.
And at first it was annoying, and they were really terrible, mispronouncing names, not keeping up with the action, getting faked out by play fakes, not knowing the down and distance, but whatever. And I was all ready to turn on Paul Allen and Pete Bursich, which are the local radio guys, and that's something that I usually do anyways. Have the radio on, have the TV on, but on mute. But this one, for some reason, it just kept getting more and more entertaining with how bad it was. And following on Twitter, just everyone else was throwing rocks at this guy. They found out his Twitter handle. Some fans went too far, as fans are wont to do. But Mike Goldberg, it's one thing to do a terrible job, but it's another to do a terrible job and then come off as a douche by calling fans a-holes, douchebags, dropping F-bombs at people. That's not professional.
Absolutely. Yeah, there has to be, you have to know the limit to what's acceptable. Yeah, that's just wrong. Why would you do that? Why did he do that?
Well, I think it's because, not to stereotype, I'm a stereotype. I always like doing that. Preface that, not to be blah, but I'm going to be blah. But since he is a UFC guy, I think there is a bit of bravado, machismo, defending my honor sort of things. And I think he might have carried that over as no words come out yet if he's still going to be doing football games, but who is scheduled for Vikings at Buffalo next week?
Let me guess.
Mike Goldberg and Brendan Iambadejo.
I like Iambadejo, though.
I do too. He's not the best color analyst yet, but everyone starts somewhere.
He'll get there.
Yeah. So, I noted on the Purple for the Win recap show that these guys should be doing games, Pac-12 games at midnight on Fox Sports 1. They shouldn't be doing a national football broadcast. Yeah. But it is a hard job. I mean, people usually don't realize how hard it is to constantly talk and fill in awkward pauses during a football game, as there are many, and make it look effortless.
Yeah.
And we can't even fill in the awkward pauses here.
Well, quit being so awkward. I'm just saying. I'm trying to fill in your awkward pause here. You're making it awfully difficult.
Speaking of difficult, Daniel Snyder is a dumbass. So
Oops.
Washington was playing at Arizona yesterday in the late game, a game which they lost, so good. Mugging for the camera in his owner's suite in Arizona with the president, quote unquote, of the Navajo Nation, all decked out in a Redskins hat. And the guy's name was Ben Shelley, but apparently Ben Shelley's not that great of a dude. He is the president. He is on his way out. He lost the re-election, so he is a lame duck. He finished 7th in the balloting, for whatever that's worth, mostly because he has had shady dealings with Snyder in the past, going behind tribal leaders to support the Washington and their team name. And was also caught, admitted to, and repaid about $8,200 to the tribal government slush fund that he, didn't think that they would miss.
Awful. Snyder can really do no right. Let's just be honest.
He is so tone deaf. I mean, he's obviously a smart businessman since he built up his business, was able to buy an NFL team, but he's just so out of touch.
Well, and then on his way out, when he's leaving the game early in the fourth quarter, he apparently was quite disappointed in his team's performance and apparently the referees, and he spat on the floor of the stadium. So, I mean, it's one thing for a normal guy to do that. It's another thing for the owner of the opponent, the visiting team, to do that in somebody else's stadium. He's just not a very bright guy for as much wealth as he's accrued.
You should share some of that with you, Claire.
His wealth?
Yeah.
Well, but there would be strings attached, and I don't like strings.
All right, now, so how about this? Say Daniel Snyder was single and available.
Yeah.
And he proposed to you with no prenup. What would you do?
No.
You'd be like, Claire, let's do this. You can divorce me after a week and take half. Come on.
Oh, if I can. Oh, he gives me that out, then yeah, it's on. But if
you have to sleep with him.
No.
Oh.
Nope. Not.
Yeah, you got to think he's probably into some pretty weird stuff too. I mean, just look at him.
Yeah, he's a little bit. No. I found out who the hot butts were.
Oh, okay. Enlighten us. That's a smooth segue from Daniel Snyder's sex fantasies.
It's not Daniel Snyder. That's for sure. Troy Polamalu. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to those rounded globes, but they're beautiful.
Well, you know what it is. It's because he's a quasi-Asian.
Oh, I thought it was like the Polynesian thing, but I guess there's some.
We accept
Asian
them
booty?
when it fits our agenda. So
of course.
The nice ass agenda definitely fits.
And you know who else?
Who?
And I know it's going to be random, and you'll be like, "What? Why?" It's true. And next time if you ever see him on the field again, even you'll be like, "Oh, I get it." Tremaine Brock, San Francisco. Yeah, he's cornerback. He doesn't play much, but he has a luscious booty.
That's really random.
I know.
But you would have to go in depth to find pictures of Tremaine Brock. You know who can't even find pictures of Tremaine Brock? Tremaine Brock's family. So you would have all right, so you're telling me you went on Google and you typed in like nice asses of the NFL, and then you put the minus sign in front of cheerleader, so they take out all the cheerleader pics. And then it was just a picture of Tremaine Brock.
No. I remember there was someone on the 49ers who I had seen in a game before, and I was like, whoa, check that. So I went and looked at the 49ers roster, pulled it up, and it was Tremaine Brock.
You know who doesn't think Tremaine Brock has a nice ass?
Who?
Chris Culliver, because that would be wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, he does.
Oh, that joke went right over your head. All right. Speaking of...
I get it. No, I get it now. Ha ha. You have to give me a second sometimes.
Speaking of right over your head, Adrian Peterson admits to smoking a little weed right before his court-ordered urine sample. That was part of his bond deal stemming from his child abuse upcoming trial? Question mark?
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with that. And a lot of people, it was unfortunate because I think it's kind of a non-story as Adrian is not going to be part of the Vikings anyways. But a lot of the good old Adrian defenders were like, well, it's got to be a tough time for him. So you just lay off him. Who are you to judge about him just chilling out his nerves? It was just weed. Weed should be legal anyways. So it devolved into the whole that thing. And then eventually I think gun control debate came in, as it usually does with these things. And I don't know.
Okay. One,
no.
I am 100% behind the legalization movement. I think it's a great thing. I think it's stupid that people can get drunk off their asses and not smoke weed. It's stupid. I'd rather deal with a pothead any day over a drunk, any day of the week. That being said, you know the rules. You know your ass is already in trouble. You know that you're getting investigated for a crime, and you will probably have to submit a piss test. And you don't have the foresight to not get high right then. Come on, man. That's stupid.
But it's just a little.
I don't care. It's stupid. And then I read today that, I knew it, but I guess just seeing it written down on the internet made it real.
Yeah.
The personal conduct policy can basically do whatever they want to Adrian Peterson, regardless of what any of the courts say. So he really needs to watch his ass, and he's not. He's doing stupid things, and that's just I think it's surprising because you never thought he was like the smartest guy, but you thought he was, I don't know, nice. It doesn't feel like it felt like he had everything kind of in order. He had, yes, a lot of babies by a lot of women. That's bad. I don't approve of that. But it seemed like his life was in some semblance of order. Now it feels like it's just falling apart right before your eyes. Hey, look.
On cue, there's your Floydster.
There's my dog. That's not my Floyd. That's my sister's dog. He's stupid. I hate him. His name's Poppy.
But stupid and hate him. Adrian. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hate him. But yeah, it is. Yeah, in black and white, don't have drugs in your system when you have your piss test. I mean, how cut and dried is that? I mean, I don't care that if it's just a little weed. I don't care if weed should be legalized. I feel like it probably should be too, mostly because states are broke and they could make a ton of money off of taxing the hell out of weed. Mm-hmm. That's basically my look. Now, but it's bad decision after bad decision, and yeah, who knows? And Adrian does strike me as the type who's very set in his ways, does not think that he is wrong, and you can see that from his lack of backtracking on, he thinks that displaying his child in that manner is correct, and he's not going to back down on that.
Right.
I think his bullheadedness could be the reason why he's not going to be playing this year too, because a lot of people would have taken a plea deal to a lesser charge, but Adrian is going to fight this thing head on, even though the odds are, I'm just a Twitter lawyer, but it looked like they're very much stacked against him in this case.
Yeah.
But he's going to fight it because Adrian, he's bullheaded. He's a fighter.
Right. And that's certainly his right to do so. And he can believe that he did the right thing, all that he wants to do. And what's going to matter is what that jury of his peers or the judge, whomever he lets decide his trial, what they feel about it. So it's really not up to him if he feels it's right or not. It's up to somebody else now. So
but the whole weed thing is just stupid. Very bad decision. It's almost it is surprising for me with Adrian as an athlete of that caliber and of, let's be honest, his physique and skill level, that he would have the discipline to be able to abstain from that. And this seems like a Jameis Winston mess up, if you know what I mean.
It really does. Yeah, it just seems stupid. Nobody got time.
Ain't nobody got time for the NFL headphones deal with Bose, as Kaepernick was fined 10 dimes last Sunday for wearing them pregame and during the postgame presser. There were pink beats, by the way. And Cam also wore pink beats before the Cincinnati game and will probably be facing a fine as well. Now, do you think, is this okay for the NFL to be doing this, make exclusive deals with official blank of the NFL, and then fine and bar players from wearing competing headphones, even though they have deals with competing competitors, which they can do?
Well, exactly. They have deals with competitors.
Yep.
And then the fact from some things that I've read, it seems like those competitors are